Good morning, Claudio. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us at Jeppe Boats and Blades.
Well, you're most welcome, and good to be here talking to you.
Excellent. So Claudio, why rowing? What drew you to the sport?
Well, initially, when in 1970s when I first went to Jeppe, of course I was I was not even 13, but I really did not know that Jeppe did rowing. The first time that I knew that Jeppe did rowing was we were all gathered in the main hall one morning, and there was this rowing boat there, and it was this brand new four that they had purchased, which I think was named Cirrus. And at that point, I realized, well, Jeppe does rowing, okay, but that wasn't what attracted me to rowing, because I really didn't know anything about it. The summer of of 71, I was, it was early in the track season, and I was at a meet at Jeppe, and Mr. Venturi, who was one of the father of one of the boys that was doing rowing at the time, Danilo, he approached me. I really didn't know him, and he said, I think you would be a good rower. And I kind of looked at him and, rowing? I don't know anything about rowing. He said, yeah, but you're good at track, you seem to be a pretty good athlete. Why don't you try rowing? Well, I was never one not to try anything. I mean, I'd even played cricket for a while, but I found that cricket is a little boring to me. So I'm a very, to me, the physical sports were more appealing. So at that point, after talking a while, I agreed. So I then showed up at the tanks, and it wasn't Mr. Venturi that was there, but it was somebody else. And, they put me on the tanks, and, I sat down and put this, oar in my hands, and they said, okay, this is what you have to do. And I started rowing, and I thought, this is great. This is going to be fun. And that was the moment that it really hooked me. And, I said, oh, well, I can do this. Well, when you're sitting on a slide on a piece of concrete, pulling water, that's easy. It's when they put me in a boat that I realized, wait a minute, this is not that easy. This is all about timing, balance, and then you've got 4 or 7 other guys that are all doing their own thing back there. So this is impossible. This is a mess. But it was even more inspiring than it was, demoralizing. And at that point, I really, really wanted to do rowing. And, then we started to get into the boats, and especially on Saturdays, that's when, when we'd spend a lot more time with a coach. And it took a while to get us, to be good rowers and to be competitive. Actually, it took a lot of work. I mean, and then we'd get in the boat and row for hours, and take a bus back to the school and find our way home. But I really, reveled in that stuff. It was to be in a boat, especially an 8, that actually is a very competitive crew that can win, is pretty amazing feeling. Mm. But that's what got me in rowing. It was actually a parent who took the time to go around the school, and he recruited quite a few people to that he felt were good athletes that could be turned into good rowers, and I think that made all the difference.
Yeah,
made all the difference.
Absolutely. So, Claudio, you are familiar with the Jeppe Boats and Blades cause, and thank you very much for your generous contributions to date. They really have made a difference. What are your thoughts on this initiative, and how do you believe other people, old oarsmen, current oarsmen, can get involved and support this initiative? thinking about corporates and thinking about individuals as well?
Well, I have to, on my part, I'm going to do whatever I can to try and help. I wish I could send you a pile of money, but that's not the reality.
We'd like
But
that too.
But I can capitalize on the exchange rate. I know that that is something that works to my advantage. And I am working to try and see that I can contribute every so often. My contributions, obviously, I will do, I know that Michelle wanted me to contribute monthly, but I'd prefer to do it, every quarter, because it's just cheaper to send larger sums. So I will be helping, as much as I can and as often as I can. Now, with regards to what can we do, I can certainly try and reach out to my fellow oarsmen, although I have not, the only person that I really speak to, not regularly, but we remained really, really good friends after school, was Garth McQuaid. He was the second guy in the crew in the line after the stroke. But I can reach out to him, and I can reach out to the other guys and see maybe if they will, they are willing to help. And we can start with that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, but I think it's just because we're all busy, and I'm still very active in the work that I do, and my days are extremely busy. And not only do I sit at a computer and work, but I also work on machinery. And in between that, I say to myself, I better go and sort out this contribution because I'm promised, it's just the mechanics of it,
Yeah.
And I emailed Michelle and I said, please send me the address of the trust, because sometimes I'm a little bit scatterbrained, and I had all the information. And the other day I spent half an hour looking for the paperwork, going through all my paperwork, and I'm wondering, what did I do with it? I'm going to look like a complete fool over here asking for the info again. But I will reach out to to my fellow oarsmen, because I think that is the best way to do it. Because trying to get some funding corporate-wise is going to be pretty tough from this side, because corporations in America always believe that they have to benefit something. What does it have to do with what we're doing over here? So for me to approach, my company and say, hey, would you like to donate to a school in South Africa? It would be just, even I'm fairly high up in the company. It's a family-owned business. I'm sort of the second guy there, but it's really tough if they don't have, if they don't see a benefit, to their product. So I think that the best way for me to help you guys is to reach out to all the guys that I used to go with, and just,
So effectively being a champion of the cause, which is one of our initiatives, which is great. Well, thank you very much for that, Claudio. We've got a very little bit of time left. Probably just very quickly, what significant memory do you have from your time at Jeppe?
Well, my most significant memories, believe it or not, were the 2 times that we won the championship, both in junior A and the senior A. Of course, I remember some of it's been a very, very long time. So for me to visualize everything that happened on those weekends was, it's pretty difficult. But I've never ever lost from my memory, you know, the last 200 or 300 meters of that race, both of them, because you know, I don't know what it is. It's just that you're hurting so much, but you've got to a point where you're managing that pain. But you're so focused. You are so focused on everything, and everything is like sort of in a slow motion. But you know you're winning, and you know they're not going to catch you. You're just trying to survive. But you're so focused that everything becomes just there in your brain. You know, it's there forever. And you know, I can remember both those races, those last 200-300 meters are, I know I use the term yards because you know, the last 200 or 300 meters are just so vivid in my memory. It's almost as if I'm sitting in that boat and I'm still rowing. Of course, you know, since I left rowing at Jeppe, I rowed very, very few times. You know, even here, you know, there's not a big following for rowing here in South Texas, unless you at one of the universities that possibly does it, maybe in Austin. But I would have loved to have carried on rowing just for those memories, but it's very, very tough to do over here.
Yeah.
And I won't row, you know, I could buy a scull and row on the waters over here, but the waters are infested with alligators, so
bit of a challenge.
yeah, you know, you see them all the time. You know, they don't really bother people, but you know, we have them all in the neighborhood. But it's not a smart thing to be alone and, you know, fall into the water because you never know. So you know, unless I had a pair on, I had a willing partner, which is very, very difficult. It's tough to do rowing over here.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, Claudio. It's fantastic stories, and you know, we can certainly see just in the conversation how rowing has been a significant contributor to you as a person, and you know, just your life experience and how it's benefited you going forward. So, Claudio, thank you for your time. We sincerely appreciate it, and look forward to many more conversations. For everybody else out there, please go check out our website. That's www.jeppeboatsandblades.co.za. Until next time, keep pulling together for gold. Thank you. Bye.